brag and really talk about what I'm doing behind the scenes in my company. But today I really felt compelled to, and I have to thank my team and my husband and my own mom for kind of nudging me in this direction. But today was actually a really exciting day for myself and for my team and my family and my clients. And so I wanted to share with you why. You know, I think in the past year, I guess the easiest way to say it is that I feel like I'm really coming into what our unique ability is, to quote my mentor, Ken, in the company. For more than a decade now, we've been building websites for authors, speakers, and coaches. We've been launching bestseller books, more than 30 now. We've been doing all of these amazing things. And because I'm not one to boast and brag, it feels like, now is an opportunity to really share with you, what are we doing? And what is it that is so unique that we are doing over here, especially as it relates to launching books, because there is nobody in the world launching books the way that we are launching books here at NGNG. And excuse me, for the past year, I've been working with my team and working with my clients and really trying to map out what is it that makes us different, because you'll see this in your own business when something just comes really effortlessly, when it's easy, we kind of take it for granted. And especially as entrepreneurs, we are compelled to go after the challenge, right? Because that's what gets us excited. But I've really been starting to study what came naturally and easy to me. And it wraps around marketing and launch success. And so I even was I was reflecting this morning at this, I've been making these contextual models and these structures and deconstructing what it is that we do, all in the purpose of creating something that I did a launch for today. It was kind of like a really quiet, secretive launch. I made a few little posts online, but other than that, I didn't want to make a big production and a big show out of it just yet. I just wanted to kind of test the marketplace. And so I'm coming live today to share like what it is that we've been working on and why it matters. I was doing some research yesterday just to kind of get a sense of like what's really happening in the world of authors. Did you know that there are more than 2 million books released every year in the world? 2 million books per year. I found that in my research. And yet the average author is selling about 250 copies of their book. And that just pisses me off. Like it gets me emotional, because I know how much work that author went into coming up with the idea and overcoming their mindset and coming up with a table of contents and writing the first draft, only to find that they had to rewrite it, and all of the drafts and all of the editing and the emotional roller coaster. Not to mention all of the money and hiring the developmental editor, the copy editor, the typesetter, the cover designer, looking for publishers, dreams getting crushed when you find the realities of the publishing world. And then what am I going to do? I've got to learn the world of self-publishing. Like, it is unbelievable what an author goes through. Even when authors buy into those programs where you can write a book in a weekend, like, it's still not small. It's not a small effort. And yet to go through all of that, to then not know how to properly market and launch that book, and then after all of that, to sell on average 250 copies, dude, there is something wrong with the way that this industry is teaching authors. The industry is not setting authors up for success, but we are. And like I started this live stream, it's like, I think in some ways, just because it came so naturally to me, it's not that I took it for granted, but I didn't feel like, I just wanted to work with my authors in my little pocket of the world. And all of a sudden this year, it was like, no more. I have calls. Just last Friday, I had 6 calls with authors who had been referred to us. Like, that's how much we are in the author world. All were referrals. All came in. I had 6 calls with authors, and hearing about their experiences with other providers or buying into courses or what their situation is, it's just further validation. So as you can see, this has been something building in me. And I've been spending my time deconstructing what I do and why it matters and how to put it into a process and a system. And what I ended up doing is I created something called Bestseller Book Launch Blueprint. And it's a course that I created. But this is why I felt compelled to go live with this, besides just the course. I knew that there was a course in me, right? And I got this opportunity a few months ago, thanks to Mike Michalowicz and his team. They are doing a massive online bundle early in April. So what that means is there are a lot of people contributing products into a big online giveaway. So you can look forward to that in April. We will be talking about that. And as part of that bundle, I wanted to develop a course. And usually for the bundles, it's like, $500 or something like that might be a good value. So I was trying to map out like, what's a simple course that I could make to get things started in this direction of me creating this bigger course. And one thing led to another 3 weeks ago. And all of a sudden, I couldn't just create the little course. I had to create the mega course, right? And the course that has been inside of me that is designed to help authors through marketing and launch. And that's what I ended up creating in the past 3 weeks. My husband last night, we were sitting down and he was like, Amber, show me your sales page and show me your course. And I was like, oh, that's so nice and supportive, but it doesn't matter. You don't care, and he does. It's so great. But in the process of me showing him what I had just accomplished in the past 3 weeks with my team, he was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that this is what you've been working on. So that's what I wanted to show you guys today, just because we're celebrating. So this is the course sales page, and you can find it at bestsellerbooklaunchblueprint.com. It's also on my Amber Vilhauer site, and I added a little tab called course. But basically, as you can see here, you work too hard on your book for your launch and sales to flop, introducing the smartest book launch experience designed to achieve your goals. And then you'll see I kind of go on to say that it doesn't matter if you're fiction, nonfiction, if you're in the idea phase, or if you've already launched your book and maybe you want to set it up for a relaunch, this course is for you. I go through the biggest mistakes that authors make. There are 6 of them. And I go through that, while most authors are not seriously committed to their success, they don't know what they don't know. They don't have a plan. They're not having enough budget. They don't know the timeline. They don't have the team. They're not sure of how to develop their platform to have a more significant launch. My plan and how I approach this course is that as an author, I only want you focused on 3 things. I want you focused on building relationships, creating high-level content, and speaking. You should not be in the weeds in your business doing like the little things that anybody else can be doing. We need to protect your energy. For the past almost 15 years now, I have been working with authors, and this is what we achieve. We have authors that have paid us 6 figures to set up the marketing and launch for their book. 6 figures. And this is the exact conversation that I have with them. We have to protect you as the author. You're the visionary. You're the one that's out there speaking about this message that matters so much to you. You should not be in the weeds working on a lot of the things that other people can be doing for you. So my value is that I can be thinking at a very high level, very visionary, very strategic with you, creating a lot of uniqueness in your brand and in your marketing and your launch so that it stands apart from everybody else in your industry. And then once we have all of these ideas in this action plan and timeline, my mind works in a phenomenal way that I can then create a structure for it and a systematic approach that then can be packaged up and delegated out to assistants and team members. My team does a lot of the execution, your team does some of the execution, but we work together to manage the project and get it done so that you, author, can just focus on speaking, building relationships, and creating high-level content that only you can create. And this is what I've been doing all of these years for all of my clients, but now I have it into a course that any author can go through and watch, and their teams should go through this course and watch it too. So that's really what I've created here. And I'm going to take you into the course here in just a minute. thanks to my husband giving me like the courage and nudge to share this, I wouldn't have even done it. I would have just been like, okay, it's going to sell, whoever's going to buy it. But basically it's 5 core training modules, more than 25 lessons, more than 10 hours of content, all of my protocols, spreadsheets, email templates, everything that I am doing with these author clients is basically what I've packaged up into this course. So you'll see the first module, we go deep into how to prepare for the project, whether your timeline is 2 months or 6 months or 16 months. There are certain principles to that launch. And so we go through and we map out who's your team, the state of your time, the state of your platform, what's your timeline. We're talking about how to monetize. And this is one of my favorite favorite lessons in all of the modules, is just how I talk to you about monetization. Do you know that most authors have no clue how to monetize? And we all know that you're not going to make enough money based on your book. Come on. So what I do in this lesson is I'm talking to you about the different ways, the different monetization models that you can have that just is a natural upsell, a natural progression from your book. So I talked to you about all of the different options there, because with monetizing, you have to do what is joyful to you. With marketing, there are certain principles that everybody has to do. Like there's certain things that you have to do no matter who you are, what your business is. But when it comes to sales, it should be based on whatever lights you up, what excites you. So if you don't like one-on-one coaching, then don't do one-on-one coaching, right? So there are all kinds of different ways that you can monetize. And I talk about those, but I also talk about, did you know that you can be monetizing along the way before the launch even happens? So I'll give you one example. With one of my current, with one of my current clients, we have about a 15-month timeline before her big launch. And one of the things that I suggested is that she set up like a 6-month program and charge X dollars a month and allow X many people to participate. I would keep it small, less than 20 people. Maybe you're charging as much as $250 a month or $500 a month. It's up to you, whatever. But in the course of this 6-month program, she can have like a 1-hour Zoom group coaching environment where she's teaching a core concept from her book, and then testing the messaging in her book to make sure that it lands, getting market research, getting feedback, tweaking the book as she's writing it. This is happening. And then she can open it up for a discussion amongst the group and answer their questions and have that community and that safety. But it's also giving her accountability to hit her marks in developing the actual content for the book too. So if she just has a once a month, call with these people, they get to feel like they're a part of the development of this book. They're a part of something bigger than themselves. And meanwhile, that author is monetizing too to help fund the book. And the author can get video testimonials. Those people that go into this membership can become her inner circle launch team. I mean, there's endless ways that we can use this as an opportunity to benefit all. Not just benefit the author, benefit all. And that's the way that I approach every angle of your marketing and launch. And so we talk about ideas such as that to help you fund the book. This is going to generate, $20,000, $30,000 for her. Now imagine you being able to reinvest some of that back into having a more significant launch or redesigning that website that probably needs it, right? So there are definitely a lot of ideas that I share just in that module alone. But then we go into the platform module, and this thing is huge. It's basically like more than a dozen lessons where I'm going deep into how to set up your website so that it's more experiential. And so you're attracting qualified buyers and converting them into buying your book and then upselling into like a digital program or whatever we have created based on this monetization model. So we talk all about website, how to get over your fears of recording video, how to have clear messaging. We're talking about how to map out a customer journey, and we're doing the work together in the course. So it's very experiential. I'm holding your hand the whole time. And then we go into the marketing side. So how do we set you up for success with your social media, blogging, video, email marketing? Like, look, guys, these are all of the things that you need to be doing as an author if you want to have a successful platform and a successful launch. Most authors hate this stuff. They would much rather be writing their content and speaking about it. They don't want to be in the weeds. So in the course, I actually give you a framework so that your team can execute all of that for you. And I have designed this course so that you as the author and your team can go through it multiple times. So that's why, like, this is so magical. This is so special that in 3 weeks we developed all of this, and just wait till you see the back end of the course. But in platform, I also talk about how to get booked on top rated podcasts, how to have your team help you with that. Live streaming. I've been doing a lot of live streaming, as you guys have seen. I've been optimizing them. I've really learned how to help them go viral and when we want them to. And so I give all of that away. This is not one of those courses, because I can't stand this about the industry, the online world sometimes, where they give you 80% of the formula and they don't tell you that last 20%. And that's the piece that you really need to pull it all together. I don't do that. So I put it all on the line. Ask my team. They're like, you're only charging what for this course? They wanted me to charge like 7x what I'm charging for this course. But I believe in karma. I believe in the greater good. And I know that if I set you up for success, you will tell all of your friends about it and they will come in and buy too. So I believe in abundance. It's just a very different mentality. We also talk about publicity a bit here. Then in module 3, it's all about your relationships. Because if you want to have a successful launch, you're going to need people by your side that are promoting it with you. You can't just be alone on your island. And even though a lot of authors wish that that were the case, but you know what I found in so many conversations that I've had with authors, they don't feel comfortable asking for help. So even if you know somebody that could absolutely contribute to the launch and they alone could help you sell 1,000 copies of the book, you just don't want to. I help you overcome that by showing you that this isn't about you. It's about your message. It's about the impact that you could have in the world. Just like this live stream. It's outside of my comfort zone to do this live stream right now. But why am I doing it? Because I know that at the end of the day, this isn't about me. It's about you. And if there is an author watching this right now who just got ripped off or disappointed or left in the dust or whatever it was, the stuff I hear all day long, and then they had this incredible book that could have made a huge difference in somebody's life and it never got into their hands because they didn't have the right support and marketing and launch, oh my gosh, it would be terrible. So this actually is an effort for me to just share what's been going on, because I know that the right people are going to just be thankful, and it'll be a win-win. So anyway, it isn't about you. It's about who can we help with your book? And maybe it's a business owner that you can help, or maybe it's a stay-at-home mom, or maybe it's somebody else. But we need to get your book out. You put too much into it to not ask for this help. And the thing is, people really like helping other people. It's not a burden when it's somebody that you like and when you know that they are producing something of quality. And the worst that could happen is they say no. Okay, thanks anyway. So I help you overcome some of the mindset stuff, because especially with authors, this is a stretch and I know that. So I'm very careful and I'm very intentional and I warm you up to it. And I also give you all of these spreadsheets and templates to make your life so much easier, because I'm not just setting you up for success with this launch. I want you to relaunch the book every single year moving forward, which means that I want you watching this course every year moving forward, go through it with me. And I want to make sure that everything that you have created and templates and spreadsheets for the first launch, now you can just build upon that for your next launch. You're not starting from scratch every single time. So in the networking module, I talk about how to do outreach, what you do once you have a yes, and how to get more support beyond just a solo email and some social media support. We've done some incredible things, like for Mike Michalowicz's launch that's coming up in just a couple of months. We have gotten him booked on stages. We have people committed to buying bulk copies of the books, 500 copies of the book, 100 copies of the book, because we offered that as an option. He is being interviewed like crazy on people's podcasts. Tons of people are asking to do live streaming with him, all because we asked. Right? And we just left it as an option. There is zero pressure. There is zero weirdness. People are happy to do it because they like Mike and they believe in the book. And that can happen for you too. And then I also share this 4-week sequence that I've created. You have all the emails of like the countdown, how to remind people as we count down to the launch to make sure that everybody's on the same page, that everybody's feeling supported. So all of that is included in that module. And then the launch module is, okay, how do we pull it all together? So at this time, we've prepared, we have figured out how you're going to monetize. We've been monetizing along the way. Your website's looking good. Your foundational content marketing is humming. It's in harmony. You've been growing your audience, and then you've been kind of scaling that audience through podcasting and live streaming and publicity. And now you have this network of influencers and promotional partners who are all on the same page with you, and they're excited to help you. And then you count down to your launch date. And this is such like a magical time, and it's a nerve-wracking time because it's like, wow, what's going to happen? You know, what's going to happen? We put all of this work in, everything is looking good, it's working, but I'm still scared. I'm still nervous. And so I definitely have a mindset component, but I'm also talking to you about, here's the 5 emails, the last 5 emails before the launch that you want to send out to warm up your community, how you're building momentum on social media and teasing it out. And then how are we reminding those influencers, and how can we integrate a live stream challenge that goes viral so you're getting even more people on board, and then we launch. Now, also included in this module, I talk about Amazon. There's a 40-minute training just in the Amazon lesson where I'm talking to you about where the categories are, how it's organized, where are the hidden categories. Most people don't even know that there are hidden categories in Amazon, but I believe in a high integrity Amazon launch. And this is the same process that I go through even right now with Susie Carter, who's gunning for New York Times on May 5th. Buy her book at poweryourprofitsbook.com. And so, you know, basically, what are we doing here as we count down toward the launch day? And how are we capturing your rankings? How are we pushing through to get #1 or on multiple different categories in an integral way? And then the final module that I have is all about scale, because, and here's, thank you for just sticking with me, by the way. I know I'm kind of going on and it's just my own excitement. I'm no agenda here except sharing, so it's all good. But in this module, most book launch directors or managers or service providers, they stop at the actual launch. Like, okay, we made you #1, see you later. And I see it all the time, but that's not what I wanted, because I want to set you up for long-term success with your book. So what I did in this module, it's like another, I think 40-minute training that goes deep into now what happens. What happens that first week of launch, the first month of launch, the next 6 months, and how can you prepare for a relaunch? And we're talking about, you know, fulfillment and building upon the momentum that you've already had, and you know, how you're going to continue to monetize and get publicity and get new supporters for your next launch. You know, all of that is included, because my grand vision for this whole course is I just want to set authors up for success. There is so much that they don't know. There is so much that they don't want to do. And I feel compassion for that. And I'm not going to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. But I am going to say it needs to get done by somebody. So I even teach you in this course how to find somebody that's really competent and capable that can be on your team to support you through this. Not somebody on my team. I just tell you, here's how you can go out and do it. And then I'm just here to support you with all of the knowledge that I have along the way. So this is basically the course, and you can go take a look at it at bestsellerbooklaunchblueprint.com or on my Amber Vilhauer site. And now I just wanted to briefly show you the back end. This is when my husband gave me the courage to just like share this. But shout out to Member Vault. Member Vault is the software that we chose to use for course development. They are fantastic. I know Aaron Kelly, the owner and developer, and it's just a phenomenal software. So if you're looking for a platform that's not like Kajabi or Thinkific or Teachable or Kartra is another one, then definitely look at Member Vault. I've been very pleased with their setup. When you log in, this is what it looks like. And you can see a little welcome message for me. And then on the right-hand sidebar, you'll see there's an introduction here. And if we go into view the module, this is just a sample of what it looks like. So there's a little introduction that sets you up for success with the whole course. And then I have tons of downloads to help you on your way. So this is the syllabus that we go through here, all those modules and fun things. And then I kind of give you an overview of how a launch works, because you don't know what you don't know. Then you go into module 1. So here's what you're going to learn, and you'll see the different lessons over here. So we have a mindset lesson, there's homework, and you are rewarded for when you do homework and you're accomplishing your goals. I have different handouts to help you on your way. I'm just going to kind of go through this quickly because you already know what's in the course. Here's that monetization module that I'm so excited about. And something I didn't touch on is that I teach you how to document everything inside of Google Drive or Dropbox. And so you're going to set up a launch folder with these subfolders: planning, website, marketing, network, monetization, and fulfillment. Imagine going into your next book launch and being able to click into a folder that already has everything that you did in your last launch sitting there ready to be revived and built upon. So I am really I'm teaching you so much in here to really set you up for success in the long run. Let's see if there's anything in particular that we can highlight. I'll share with you just a couple of the handouts for fun. So here's our website handout here. So you'll see just some fill in the blanks. I take you through some cool exercises, and then we're mapping out your customer journey together. So here's what that looks like. So I give you an example of my customer journey in my company, and then I'm helping you map it out yourself into yours. Messaging, launch pages. Let's see, what else can I give you? Ooh, look at this one. The live streaming. I love this. 20-minute training on live streaming. And then I have this handout for you. This is like a live stream protocol that I developed last summer, and I tested it all fall, optimized it, and now we're using it internally for the clients that are paying 6 figures for us to develop like a live stream experience during their launch week. And I'm giving you the protocol, so I just, again, really wanted to set you up for success in this course, which is kind of cool. So anyway, last night I'm sharing this with Jason. And he, in this moment, and I'm like, and so here's the document, here's the document, your network video, and here's the spreadsheet where you can track everything. And it was so funny because Jason's like, oh my gosh, look at how good this looks. Like, I had no idea. I'm giving you email templates and I'm sharing all of this with him. And it just felt good. I felt really seen last night by him and my team. They're like, we're on Telegram. And so they're sending me these Telegram emojis with like the celebration. And what was so cool is, again, this happened 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, and I'll end here, but it was 3 weeks ago, you guys, that it was like I had this tiny little window to work on this course. And I emailed the whole team on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I said, okay, we're going for it. Here's the timeline. Within that 3-week period, I started to script out what was going to be included in the course. I started to come up with this, timeline, how the modules would be broken down. Then I opened up a Google Drive folder and I started creating a document for each of the lessons and what would I want to accomplish in each and what would the homework be for each, what's the core message that I want to share in each lesson, and what are the teaching points that are going to set people up for success, and how am I going to make sure that they're not overwhelmed, but they feel supported and they're motivated to get things done. How do I encourage people to follow through? So I map out all of that for 27 lessons, I think it is. And then in 1 week, it was, I think, 2 or 3 different recording days. I think it was 2. And I sat down for 2 full days and I recorded all of the videos. It was more than 10 hours, I think. And then at the end of that, I then send that off to my team with this massive list of like, here's the editing that needs to be done. We created all of the handouts from scratch. My team then designed them. And then my team set up Member Vault and they were inputting the videos and the handouts. And then came the monstrous task of needing to come up with all of the module and lesson descriptions. Like, you think developing a course is like, okay, it's going to be pretty easy. It's really time consuming if you want to do it right. And if you actually want your people to get real results. And so then I did all of the content writing for all of the modules and all of the lessons. And then came the time to do the sales page. So I had decided that what I wanted to do, and you can use this for your own launch, I decided that what I wanted to do is have a beta release. And that's what today is. Today was the first beta release day. And I sent one email to my email list last Tuesday. And I said, something big is coming and it's for authors. And so, pay attention a week from today and I'll tell you what it is. I got this slew of like responses from people in the email community. Like, I want to know, I marked my calendar, I set my alarm, or whatever they said. It was really cool. The social media team really wanted to make a couple of posts on social media to let people know something big was coming. We had several people join the email list just to find out what was going on. But all things considered, like, this was not a big production. And then that was by design, because what I ultimately wanted was a small beta release. And I wanted 10 people to go through the course and let me know, like, did you find a typo? Did it make sense? Was it successful? Where did you have ease? Where did you struggle? And then what I want to do is I want to tweak anything in the course and then have the big reveal and the big production. And so all I did was I sent out that one email last week. I sent out another email this morning. I pre-scheduled it to send at 3 a.m. And by the time I woke up at 5 a.m., we already had our first 5 orders. And it was just this magical moment. Jason will tell you, I had a smile on my face for an hour because Jennifer, Peggy, Christina, Dr. Donia, and Arwen woke up early and they were the first 5 that placed their order. Like, it was so fast how it happened. And I just thought, it just felt so good to know that they are in good hands now and that they have what they need to have a successful launch or relaunch. We have other customers that have since come in and I see them buying because they want to relaunch their book and revive it and then, have a monetization model from it. And it just feels really good. So what I decided is that, I have this massively discounted. It's a $3,500 discount for where it's going to be after this week. And so I thought, the first week, maybe I'll have 10 people go through it, make sure it's up to, par, getting some honest feedback, some testimonials while I then prepare for the more official launch. And so we're going to leave that discounted price up until Friday. And I'm just excited. So I don't know, whatever. I really wanted to go live. This was obviously not prepared. I had nothing mapped out. That's why it took so long. But thank you for anybody that's still watching and celebrating with me, because it feels really good to face your fears and to get your work out to the world and see it making an impact. And this really has nothing to do with me. I'm just somebody that got this out to the world. I'm an observer, so I've been really looking at what's been happening in my industry. I got to a point of pain about it, and I'm just so tired of watching authors not see the success that they deserve. And I decided to take a stand and do something about it. But I couldn't have accomplished this without my team. And I just think all the time about how lucky and fortunate I am for every single team member that I have attracted in, the best of the best, the most caring, beautiful humans. And so they, I'm honoring them in this moment. I'm honoring the people who bought into the course because they believe in me, they trust me, and they want to see results. And I will do everything I can to make sure that those people are successful in hitting their dreams. So this is just a fun moment, and to see everything that was accomplished in 3 weeks is remarkable, because I had 35 calls last week, 35 calls. I'm on the phone, and this is all getting done around all of the website launches that we've had. And I've been out of town for part of that time. And it's just, that's the value of having a good team. That's the value of having systems and procedures in place. And that's everything that this course is about. So anyway, thank you for celebrating with me. I'm going to go. I have a call now with my writing partner. For those of you who know, I'm also writing a book. And I have a writing partner named Katie, who is helping me to go through the process of what do I really want to say and how do I get it out to the world. And it's turning out to be such a remarkable book about how to develop personal connection to scale your influence. And the working title is Elevate Every Experience. And I'm basically teaching, it's thought leadership around how to decide who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world. And then from that place of pure goodness, being present with everybody that you interact with, developing a real connection with that person, regardless of outcome. Thanks, and a little nod to Dave Smith. I love that. Regardless of outcome, I got that from him. And from there, from that place of developing connection, the book actually goes into how to develop systems and structure for your marketing, your sales, and your operations, and even your team culture and leadership, so that you're scaling your influence based on these principles. So I have a 2-hour call with my writing partner, and we're going to get into some really juicy stuff. And just know, moving forward, I will be sharing more about my book and kind of testing teaching points and core concepts and messages and see how it lands. And I'm just grateful for this community, and thank you all for just being in the journey with me. It really is about the journey, not the destination. So I hope you have a beautiful day. And thanks again to everybody who believes in the course and has signed up. It really means a lot. I'll see you guys later.